appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon at 351-5358. That's 351-5358.
Hello, gorgeous.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Wednesday, I'm your host, Tom Schmitz. You know, my wife has got me on a keto diet. But, you know, there's vegan, there's Mediterranean keto. To start a new year, many Americans resolve to eat healthier. They make changes in their daily diets. But, you know, with many fad diets, new food trends, and misconceptions, finding what works for your lifestyle can be sometimes daunting, maybe even overwhelming. Well, in honor of National Almond Day, registered dietitian Bonnie Taub-Dix is with us to talk about, you know, some plant-based options that if you do it on a regular basis or just starting out, simple and delicious ways to add them to your lifestyle without sacrificing quality or taste. Bonnie, good morning to you.
Good morning, Tom.
Okay, now I'm a meat and potatoes guy, so let's talk about what does a plant-based diet really look like, and what are the benefits of a plant-based diet?
Yeah, well, you know, plant-based diets are on fire these days, but a lot of people are still confused about it. One thing it is not a fad diet, and you don't have to be a full-on vegetarian to reap the benefit of the power of plants. Basically what it means is eating more plants. So those would be foods like beans and fruits and vegetables and grains. I love that you like potatoes. It also means having plant milks instead of having as much of the meat that's on your plate and poultry and eggs and cheese or dairy milk.
Well, you know, they don't advertise with us, but I will tell you, Impossible Burgers are fantastic. I'll give you that. I ate one time and didn't realize I was eating a non-meat hamburger until the guy told me, laughing at me. A buddy of mine who owns a restaurant made it for me and laughed at me because I couldn't tell the difference. So some plant-based foods have come a long way, haven't they?
They sure have. And, you know, there are so many benefits to eating plant-based foods. And it's really easy to make some swaps in your diet. I'll give you a perfect example. If you try Almond Breeze Extra Creamy Almond Milk, it is the perfect plant-based solution, whether you're cooking or baking or just pouring it by the glass. And it has a creamy mouthfeel. As a dietitian, I love that it's an excellent source of calcium and vitamin D, vitamin E, and it's a good source of vitamin A. And, you know, it's only 80 calories per cup, which is 46% fewer calories than whole dairy milk. That's about 150 calories a cup. And it's also fewer calories than oat milk, which could go up to about 160 calories per cup. So it really is a beverage with benefits.
You know, I have a half gallon in my refrigerator now. My wife has started making my smoothies with them, and I thought I would be able to tell, because I'm not a big almond fan, to eat the nut. I just don't like the nut very much, and I'm a big nut fan, but I don't like the almond nuts. But I thought the almond milk would not be good. I'll be honest with you, I can't tell a difference. I have no idea if there is a difference. I can't tell it.
Well, you know, I think that a lot of people are surprised when they try almond milk, especially Almond Breeze Extra Creamy, because it's enriched with almond oil. And that makes it really unique. It has a creamy, satisfying taste. And it's really easy to find and so easy to use in so many different recipes. I think just like you, that you'll be surprised about how wonderful it tastes. I'm surprised you don't like almonds. I use them in so many different things, even in omelets, in muffins. I cook with it. So I don't know. I think maybe you should give it another try.
No, I broke a tooth eating one. It does not the taste or anything. I just broke a tooth eating one when I was a little kid.
Did you ever have sliced or slivered almonds, or even almond flour for baking is excellent?
I heard, you know, recently the almond flour is very good. Talk about that for a minute. How can that incorporate, when you do almond milk plus almond flour, how can you incorporate that into your baking to make a better option?
Well, actually, I have a great muffin recipe on my website, but you could just use almond flour in place of all-purpose flour, and you'll be getting more fiber. You'll be getting more vitamins and minerals. It actually is so easy to bake with, and it does have that nutty feel, and it certainly won't do anything to your teeth except make them smile.
You know, we've talked about almond milk, but there's so many different plant-based milks out there now that sometimes it can get confusing. What are some tips you can offer us for cleaning up some of that confusion?
Yeah, well, thank you for asking that question. It's very important to read food labels, really for anything that you eat, but not all plant milks are alike. And, you know, we choose food for the number one reason is taste. And I think that if you have not tried Almond Breeze Extra Creamy, you should really try it because it's so delicious. And you could swap it one for one in any recipe where you would otherwise use dairy milk. So it's the perfect plant-based substitute for dairy. And also, you should try it. I don't know if you've tried it in your coffee, as you mentioned, in smoothies. It's also something that you could use in soups or stews or even in salad dressings. And it's lactose-free, so everyone in your family can enjoy it.
I actually used it on cereal the other night and couldn't tell a difference. Used it in my bowl of cereal, and that was my test. I was like, well, I'll pour it on the cereal, and we'll see. Couldn't tell the difference.
See, that's great. I'm so glad that you're getting a little bit more friendly with plants.
Well, my significant other tells me that I have to.
It's good. She's trying to take care of you.
She is. What are some, if you had to take, because, you know, the family, when you got a family, you got kids who, they're finicky eaters, and you got somebody like me that you got to take to progress kicking and screaming. You know, what are some of the surprising ways that you've seen people use plant-based milks for the entire family?
Well, you know, I don't believe in hiding food for kids. I have 3 kids, and I've always let them know what I'm using. I love to shout about it because I think it's great. I want them to duplicate my recipes once they're making food on their own. But it's so easy to use something like Almond Breeze Extra Creamy when you're baking. Wherever you would use dairy milk in a recipe, you could use Almond Breeze Extra Creamy or any of the Almond Breeze milks, in fact, one for one in recipes. It's really easy to incorporate. And in soups, in stews, it could just make it a little bit more creamy and really have that just delicious nutty taste.
Not to mention, a lot of people don't know this, but regular cow's milk creates mucus issues for a lot of people that you don't get with the almond-based milks and stuff. People don't realize that sometimes the milk that you think is good for you is not good for you.
Well, that's why having something that's lactose-free is easier to digest. And as you mentioned, it's good for the whole family, so you don't have to fill your fridge with all of these different products. It really serves a lot of purposes at the same time.
If somebody was interested in getting different recipes and all that incorporated almond milk into them, where specifically could they go to find out more information? Because it does look like that you could use it in a myriad of situations.
Absolutely. Well, you could find out more about almond milk and how to use it in these delicious plant-based recipes by going to almondbreeze.com and my website, betterthandieting.com.
Betterthandieting.com or Almond Breeze. It's almondbreeze.com, you said?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Almondbreeze.com or betterthandieting.com. You know, thank you for being here this morning and opening my eyes. My wife is very happy with you now because you've led me down a road that she has been trying to get me to go down, kicking and screaming. So thank you for what you've done today for my family, and thank you for giving us a little information about something that's an alternative to milk.
Well, thank you, Tom, for welcoming some plants to your plate.
Well, thank you. We'll be right back at this timeout with some road closure information. Plus, we'll have an update on the traffic accident that is what took place on 200. See if they still have the road blocked or not there, and more information on that. Plus, the governor, he's weighed in now on the punishing districts for doing the mask mandates, even though he said not to. We'll talk about that as well on a Wednesday edition of Ocala Talks, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Our produce.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.